bringing you another video. And I'm sorry this was a few days late. The laptop I've been using to record my videos, unfortunately, finally crapped out. So as you guys who might have been my channel for a while know, I've had like this $4,000 PC that I was having issues with. And basically I've been putting it off getting it fixed, but I had no choice at this point. So the last couple days have been getting it fixed and downloading my editing software onto the computer once I got it fixed. And then I had to go buy a new monitor because I used to use the laptop screen, but now I need a smaller, I bought like a small TV, and I'm connecting it to that so I can do that for streams and stuff. And so now that I got all that out of the way, I'm back up. So anyways, a little update out of the way, that's not what this video is about, is I put in, I'd say, a good amount of time to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I will say this, I think it's the best game so far this year. It is the best game I've played in a long time. It's the most enthralled in the game series that I've been since the first Mass Effect came out. And it might be one of the best games, if not the best games ever, you could argue. Now don't get me wrong, for people who are in on the whole Horizon Zero Dawn versus The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild thing, they're both great games. Breath of the Wild just happens to be a perfect 10 in my opinion, and there's no bugs. It's a great open world, it's a great story, it's got great gameplay. Whereas Horizon Zero Dawn is a very, very solid good 9, maybe even a 9.5. It's just not quite there yet. So it is, Breath of the Wild's a really good game. It's one of the better games that come out in a while too. It's just not as good as Breath of the Wild. And as you guys know, I've been hyping up Horizon Zero Dawn way more than I've been hyping up Breath of the Wild. So this is coming from an unbiased opinion when I say this. Breath of the Wild is slightly better. Now, a lot of questions that people ask, oh, is it worth, getting a Switch for? No, it's not worth buying a new $300 console for, especially when you can just play on the Wii U. And if you don't have a Wii U, you can find one and buy one, like a used one at GameStop or something, for much cheaper than you would be spending on the Switch, when you'd pretty much just be having a Zelda machine anyways on the Switch, so you might as well buy the cheaper console. At least until Switch prices go down, especially with their peripherals, it's insane. Anyway, so there's that. The gameplay is terrific. It's very Nintendo-esque, right? Like, it's simple to learn, but it's very tough to master. Like, that's what Nintendo usually does really well. But it feels good. Link does feel a little bit slidey at times compared to past Zelda games, but that's to be expected. The only gripe I'd really have gameplay-wise is I feel like the stamina wheel, even, like, I haven't bothered upgrading it, but I'm assuming the upgraded wheel will go by just as fast as the base wheel that you get once you can start getting into that amount of stamina. And I can tell you the base wheel, as you will probably be able to see in this video because I have the footage up, it's terrible. It goes by really fast, like much faster I feel than it did in Skyward Sword. But other than that, it's great. I will say there's no wasted space in this game. There's a lot of space, there's a lot of open space, but it's all an adventure. I remember back when I was younger, right, and like when Spider-Man 2 came out, the movie Spider-Man 2 game with Doc Ock and everything in it, I was so excited because it was supposed to be this great open world game in Manhattan, basically, and I was so excited reading Game Informer about it and everything, and to be fair, it did it for its time, it did it very well. But not as well as this, and this is definitely, the reason why I say it is there's been games after that, open world games, where I read it, like stuff like that, like the pre-reviews, the Game Informer articles, all that, we'll be talking about how great this open world is, and it gets me excited, but more times than not, these games let you down. They let you down. They don't end up, like Fable, for instance, is one very good example, and they just don't end up delivering what they promise. Breath of the Wild delivers on all of it, and the story is great too, and the way they did it, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but the way they did it is, you have great cutscenes and great story, but you have to go out and find them, and it doesn't interrupt the story, and it's done in such a way where they don't point you in a direction, right? They don't make the game in any way linear, linear. There we go. Linear. Linear is not a word. Linear. They don't make it linear at all. Which is great because like even if you want to pursue the main story, you were still in a very open-ended type of gameplay. That's all I'm going to really say about it until you get the game. But I really like the way they did it, and the story is really interesting. It brings a lot more to the table as far as the Zelda community for like Zelda theories and such. And it does let us know very clearly, pretty much, as long as you're paying attention, where in the timeline it takes place. There's no questions about where it takes place. So that is good, but it brings up a lot of stuff lore-wise, and very interesting. You know, these post-apocalyptic games are always kind of interesting, just like Horizon Zero Dawn, trying to figure out what happened before. And it's a fun adventure. And then even when you don't find anything lore or quest-wise, and you just end up spending 2 hours, you don't find anything, you're just adventuring, the things you see in this world make it worth it, which is something that a lot of these open-world games they fail to deliver on. But this one does not. And Horizon Zero Dawn is almost there, but there are times where you're like, wow, I wish I didn't go all this way for nothing. But that doesn't happen in Zelda. Like, to me, that's the difference between the two. Horizon Zero Dawn's open world is great, but it's not perfect. I feel like, now mind you, the Zelda team, they had an extra 2 years, right, to get this down. They delayed it twice, so there is that. You can't blame Horizon Zero Dawn. It had a shorter development cycle. And if I'm wrong about that, please let me know. Maybe they naturally had more time. Sony naturally gave them more time. Maybe. I doubt it, but it is possible. But I'm assuming that they had, because Breath of the Wild had 2 delays, Nintendo had way more time to perfect everything in the game. So there's that. The collectibles are awesome. The way the Master Sword works, which you will probably end up seeing in this video, unless I don't talk long enough and it gets cut short, but you'll see how the Master Sword works, because we all know everything breaks in the game, but you would think the Master Sword can't break. That's something you will find out. And if you don't want spoilers on that, click away from the video, because it's probably going to be happening. It's going to show it. Anyways, because I have the Master Sword. And you meet the Great Deku Tree, and there's a lot of theorizing whether that's the Deku Tree Sprout or the original Deku Tree from Ocarina of Time. So that's another example of just how it creates so many more possible theory videos from people like HMK and Vortex and Gaming and all of them, and Game Over Jesse and all of them. So that'll be fun. That'll be something to look forward to for Zelda fans. And yeah, so is the game worth getting? Absolutely, get it. Go get it right now. Stop watching, go get it right now. Is it worth buying the Nintendo Switch for? No. I mean, if you're a Nintendo fanboy, you're gonna get a Nintendo Switch because you also like games like Mario and stuff. If you're someone who just wants all the coolest, newest tech stuff, you're gonna already have the Nintendo Switch because it's new tech, right? But if you're someone on the fence, or let's say you're a computer gamer only, or you're a Sony pony only, or fucking X-Bone only, whatever the fuck you want to call them, because I'm not an elitist on any of these, but I know they exist. PC elitists exist, console elitists exists, and the console elitists have their own camps. Then I will say, do not go get a Nintendo Switch for it. It's not worth the entry price, but definitely, if you are one of those things, you probably don't have one yet, definitely go get a Nintendo Wii U used from like GameStop or something, to find a cheap one on Amazon for the game. It is worth it. The differences between the Switch, from what I've seen, and the Wii U are really only some areas the frame rate's more stable on the Switch. Like, that's it. I mean, as far as, they both... And also, the Switch has 1080p native, but the whole point of the Switch is to be able to play on the go, and when you're on the go, it's 720. It's only 1080 when it's in the dock, but once you take it out of the dock, it's 720, and the Wii U version runs it at 720, so it's still high definition on both of them, and all the textures are the same. They're the same quality on both systems, so don't waste $300 for a little bit more high definition, right? It's a great game. I can vouch for it on the Wii U. Do it that way, save your money, but definitely play this game. I don't care if you don't like Nintendo. I don't care if you're loyal If you're a PC Steam loyalist, I don't care if you're loyal to one of the other consoles. Go get this game. It is worth it. It is very good. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. This has been Solid Shepard, and as always, I should go.